Namaskaram. Let us now delve into another chapter of paper 1 of Karnataka State Gangubai Hankal University's Previdvath examination. This chapter is basic understanding of various terminologies that we use in dance. Why do we have this at this level? It is simply because we need to know the meanings of these terminologies in order to learn more about other concepts later in depth, later in pre-Vidvat chapters or even in the post-Vidvat level chapters. Hence, we are trying to understand the basic meanings of these terminologies, sometimes their etymologies, so on and so forth. With that in mind, let us get started. Okay. First, we will try to understand what is Pushpanjali. If you've reached Previdvath level, you definitely have learned a Pushpanjali or two. So the name literally means Pushpa and Anjali. Pushpa, as we know, means flowers, and the literal translation of Anjali is Anjali Hasta, or folded hands, right? So Pushpanjali would probably mean praying with folded hands using flowers or offering flowers and praying. So as the name suggests, it is actually an offering of flowers, isn't it? So if we take a step back and go to our Nitya Puja Vidhana, we also offer Pushpanjali to the deities or to Bhagavan in the during Mantra Pushpa. So this is similar to that. So Pushpanjali means offering flowers with reverence. So who do we offer this flower to? So we have a list. The Pushpanjali is usually offered in the center of the stage. So some dancers also do it to the Nataraja, to Bhagavan, to God, or to the deity. And you uh, pay your salutations or your namaskarams to your guru and also to the audience. So Pushpanjali is done as a respect or as an offering to uh, offer our pranams to firstly the Bhagavan. Of late I've been using the word Lord less, but to your gurus and to the prekshakas or the rasikas who come to watch our dance. Okay, so with that in mind, what does offering denote? It denotes devotion, it denotes respect. Some scholars also opine that it denotes welcoming, or it denotes welcoming the audience to watch us, or also thanking the audience for having come that day to watch our performance. So that is what Pushpanjali does. So a few things that you may already know. Pushpanjali is the opening item of a Bharatanatyam Margam or a Bharatanatyam program. Sometimes it precedes the Alaripu, and of late we have also seen it replace the Alaripu. A lot of dancers, dance teachers do Pushpanjali followed by an Alaripu. A lot of teachers or a lot of dancers also replace the Alaripu with a Pushpanjali. Both of it is seen in today's dancing. So what does Pushpanjali have? It is sometimes a nritta item, depends on the choreography. A lot of dancers do it as a Shuddha nritta item, which involves only adavis and patterns, core wise. However, some also have a shloka in between or have a devotional set of verses in between. So it has a set of adavas in basic patterns, right? Uh, with usually with a tirmanam. So basically, core several core ways. Pushpanjali also is known for um, keeping in mind stage orientation. So we don't see many Pushpanjalis where the dancer is in one place. even when the dancer enters, he or she usually covers the entire stage. He or she offers flowers, goes to the gurus, uh, shows her devotion or surrenders to the gurus, comes to the center, moves around the stage. So Pushpanjali usually is not a static item of sorts, but it is something which involves covering of the stage. So there are three main points in Pushpanjali. First is the ritualistic purpose or the spiritual purpose, where we offer pranams or salutations or surrenderance to the Bhagavan. The second is pedagogic purpose, where we offer our salutations to the Guru. And the third is social purpose, where we offer our pranams to the Rasikas or to the Prekshakas. Sorry, Prekshaka. Okay, this is a very high level overview of Pushpanjali. Now, where did the Pushpanjali come from? So this may be a little too deep. However, in the Natya Shastra, there's something called the Purva Ranga Vidhi mentioned. So this itself is one of the chapters of Natya Shastra, where Bharata has explained how an actor or how a play must be commenced. So the definition or the translation of the chapter is actually commencement or preliminaries of play, where the Sutradhara or the narrator, today's modern day MC host or Sutradhara or the narrator, comes on stage with his Pariparshvakas, including a Vidushaka. So where there are two people, they come with a kalasha, with a jarjara. These are things that you would have learnt. A jarjara was the dhwaja which Indra used to smash the asuras when they came to petrify the artist. So the symbolic prop of the jarjara and a kalasha with water and tirtha, and they sprinkle it around the stage, come to the Brahmasthala and they perform Achamya and so on and so forth. So today's Pushpanjali sort of can be seen as a very distant reflection of the Purvaranga Vidhi, although we know that the Marga system eventually led to the Desi systems. Bharatanatyam is one of which we are following today, and the Pushpanjali, it cannot be exactly called the Purvaranga Vidhi of Bharatanatyam, but maybe a mirror held many centuries away can be the Pushpanjali. Okay, so the Pushpanjali is described very beautifully in a shloka. I'll just read out the shloka for you. Vignanam nashanam kartum bhutanam rakshanaya cha devanam tushtaye chapi prekshakanam vibhutaye shreyase nayakasyatra patra samrakshanaya cha acharya shiksha siddhyartham Pushpanjali matharabhet. So we'll go verse by verse, word by word into this shloka and try to understand it. So I've put it in English for everybody's convenience. Vignanam nashanam kartum. So basically what does this shloka describe? It says why a Pushpanjali is done. What is the significance of a Pushpanjali? So it says Vignanam nashanam kartum, to destroy all obstacles. So we pray to Ganesha on a daily basis, right? We call him Vighna Vinayaka. Similarly, Vignanam Nashanam Kartum, to destroy all articles. Bhutanam Rakshanayacha, to protect all beings. So to protect all beings, protection. Okay? To protect all beings. Devanam Tushtaye Chapi, for to please or please the Devas. So, if you do not know, we believe that in a Sabhagriha, there are devas stationed in different places, in different directions for protection. This again comes from the Natyotpatti chapter, where Brahma got an auditorium built so that the asuras don't come and, bother the dancers. And in each entrance, exit, place, Nepatya, Mattavarini, everywhere there are devas stationed to protect the dancers. So to please them, Devanam Tushtaye Chapi Prekshakanam Vibhutaye, for the happiness or the pleasure of the audience, Prekshakas. Okay. Shreyase Nayakas Yatra, for the Shreyas, for the well-being or for the Shreyas of the path, Nayakas Yatra, for the Nayaka or the Nayika or the main character or the hero or the heroine. Nayaka, Nayakas Yatra, Patra Samrakshanayacha. So what is Patra? It is the character that the artist is playing. So even the character the artist is playing must be protected. So we know that why are we emphasizing on protection? Because we know that when the first dance drama was portrayed by Bharata and his 100 sons or 100 disciples, the Asuras were so unhappy that they came and petrified all the dancers. So for the protection of the dancers, a lot of things were done. So that is why even for the protection of the character that the dancer is portraying, Pushpanjali must be done. Acharya Shiksha Siddhyartham. So for the attainment of the lessons that have been taught by the Acharya or the teacher, Pushpanjali Matharabe. That is why we start with the Pushpanjali. So this is a shloka which we can remember. I will repeat it one more time. Vignanam nashanam kartum bhutanam rakshanaya cha devanam tushtaye chapi prekshakanam vibhutaye shreyase nayakasyatra patra samrakshanaya cha acharya shiksha siddhyartham pushpanjali matharabhet. So with that, we have understood what is Pushpanjali, why is Pushpanjali done, and also in shloka format, why is Pushpanjali done. You can also write certain things about Pushpanjali that you know, that it is a set of adavus, sometimes a shloka or a verse is performed, sometimes it is not. Why am I telling shloka or a verse? Is because I've learned a Pushpanjali where there is a Kannada set of, say, like a poem that is done, and it's beautiful. So that is why a Pushpanjali is performed. Okay. With that, we will go to the next term. Alright. So the next term we're going to learn is Gati. So now there's a lot of question. What is Gati? What is Nadai? What is Tala? What is Anga? So on and so forth. Very popularly, people understand Gati and Nadai as the same thing. So now we will do a quick exercise before understanding Gati. So I'll put Adi Tala. Now, you can write to me about this. What is the difference between the first two times and the last two times? This understanding will actually give you the answer to Gati. So, in any Tala, we have, say, the Angas, I'm counting. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, the number of sub beats or subdivision of beats in between the two beats is what we can understand as Gati or Nadai. For example, the first time or the first, second and second time I put Aditala, the subdivision was actually 4. So it was takka dhimmi, takka jhunnu, takka dhimmi, takka jhunnu, takka dhimmi, takka jhunnu, takka dhimmi, takka jhunnu. So that becomes Chaturashra Nadai or Chaturashra Gati. However, when I put the second time, the same 1 and 2 beats, I actually had a subdivision of 3. So it was takkitta, 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 takkitta. So what is the understanding here? It is the time gap between two beats, or time or the number of subdivisions or subdivision beats between two beats is called a gati. So I'm just trying to read out the definition. Gati or nadai in the tala system refers to the subdivision or gait of each beat within a rhythmic cycle, determining the number of pulses per beat. So how much is it per beat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Idhara we can have Khandagati or Khandanade, or so takka, takkitta, takka, takkitta. Usually we try to do two beats, so to get a hold of it. Takka, takkitta, takka, takkitta, takka, takkitta, takka, takkitta, takka, takkitta, takkitta, takka, takkitta, takka. Please let me know which, according to you, is the most popular gati or nadai. Okay, this is gati. So I hope you have understood. It is the number of subdivisions. Or you can easily understand it as time gap between two beats. Okay. Generally, anything we do has some rhythm. So think about people normally clapping, right? There is some rhythm going on. The clock ticking has some rhythm going on. We're trying to understand what is the equal distribution of beats in between two main beats. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, anything of that sort. Okay? With that, let us go to the next one. Alright, Karana. So, for the longest time, people thought Karanas were actually static poses. They were just postures or poses that were done in the ancient Natya Shastra during the Natya Shastra period. However, what we have understood after the legendary work of Dr. Padma Subramaniam is Karanas is actually a dynamic movement, or just like today we call Adavis as the basic movement, Karana is the fundamental movement of Nritya or of Natya or dance. Okay. So what does Karana contain? It has a certain sthanaka, or it starts from a certain, and it has footwork, foot movements, leg movements called charis, and it has dynamic hand movements called nrittahastas. Okay, now why do I specifically tell dynamic nrittahastas? It is because in Abhinaya Darpana, or when we've learned so far, we see nrittahastas as pataka, swastika, kyascha, dola, hastastatanjalihi, kapitha, shikharaha, kurmaha, hamsasyaschala, padmakaha, kataka, vardhanaschaiva, shakatopashaki, kautrayodasaite, hastaha, syuh nrittasyapi. So that is what we understand. However, the Natya Shastra nrittahastas, forgive my not great demonstration because I very briefly learnt it, are actually dynamic in nature. So it is chaturashrau tatha, udvritau tatha, talamu swastikau, viprakirnau chapi, arala, kataka, mukhau. So these are dynamic movements. So when we have a combination of the sthanakas with the charis, what are charis? Charis are leg movements. So they are 32 in number. There are Bhumicharis and Akashacharis. The Bhumicharis are Samapada, Sthitavarta, Shakatasya. You can just find this on YouTube or Instagram. There are many good dancers who have done it. I am not the right person to demonstrate. And there are Akashacharis. So Bhumicharis, the foot stays grounded. Akashacharis, you move in the air. So Atikranta, Apakranta, Parshvakranta, so on and so forth. So combination of these, Bharata has mentioned 108 Karanas in the Natya Shastra. So they are what, they are to the Marga tradition what, I'm not trying to derive a direct analogy, but what adavis are today to the Desi tradition? Don't adavis have four? Sthanaka, Chari, Hastakshetra, and Rattahasta. Similarly, Karanas are what is there. Okay, so we will just see what Bharata says is the definition of Karana in the Natya Shastra. He says Hastapada Sanyogat Nrittasya Karanam Bhavet. So Hastapada Sanyogat. So he says a combination of combined movement of hands and feet is what will lead to Nrittasya Karana. It will lead to Karanas. Okay. So over a period of time, the Karanas evolution, definitely due to evolution, Karanas were replaced by Adavis, the Desi tradition was practiced more, and so on and so forth. Now, what I want you all to remember is how do we know about the dynamic movement of Karanas today? That is all credited to one legendary dancer who is Dr. Padma Subramaniam. So Padma Subramaniam is credited for the reconstruction of Marga Karanas. How do you reconstruct something, or how did Dr. Padma Subramaniam reconstruct? So when we see the Natya Shastra, there is a description or a character or description of a particular Karana. Just like to give you an example, what is the description of Pataka Hasta in the Abhinaya Darpana? Angulyaha kunchita angushtaha samshlishtav prasritayadi sapataka karaf prokto. That Patahasta. When the Angushta is bent and the rest are stretched out, it becomes Pataka Hasta. Similarly, there are descriptions given for each Karana. So what Dr. Padma Subramaniam did is she juxtaposed these definitions with the temple sculptures. So Karanas are engraved permanently into panels of temples like Chidambaram, Nataraja temple, Kumbakonam, Sarangapani temple, Tanjavur Brihadishwara temple, and a temple in Indonesia called Prambanan. So what she did, she observed the sculptures in these temples and juxtaposed the definition given in the Natya Shastra and derived a movement from it. So how did she do that? Let's take the first, or I don't know if it is the first, one Karana called Talapushpaputa. Yeah. So, in say one temple, the movement was this, and the other temple, the movement was this, and the other temple, the movement was this. She used the definition given in Natya Shastra to connect the three and derive to the movement that we see today. This, my friends, is a great work that only a few of us can even imagine. So that is the contribution of Dr. Padma Subramaniam to the field of dance today, that she is revived or reconstructed, called Bharata Nritya, which is based on Karanas of Natya Shastra. That is now being learnt across the country by various artists, and a lot of research work is going on the same field. So the Karanas. Now we have 108 Karanas which are reconstructed. Okay. Now, what are Angaharas, which is the next thing? Angaharas is a group of Karanas or a series of Karanas done is called an Angahara. Okay, that is called an Angahara. That is think of it like a korvai. So a series of adavus is called a korvai, a series of Karanas is called Angahara. Okay, now. Next, we will go to another Natya Shastra concept called Dharmi. So, how many concepts in Natya Shastra are there? So in the sixth chapter, somebody asks, what is there in Natya Shastra? And Bharata says, uh, what should you know? Rasa, Bhava, Abhinaya, Dharmi, Vritti, Pravritti, Siddhi Swaras, Atodya, Gana, Ranga. So they are popularly called as the 11 elements of Natya Shastra. So what is Dharmi? Dharmi is can be understood as the mode or style of presentation. So let us understand. I'll give you a rather simple example. So if you ask one dancer, say, please give me a cup of coffee in dance, a dancer may do coffee. So another dancer may do take up cup, take coffee, then this is the cup, hold the cup, and then give the cup. So what we are trying to tell is there are two different modes or styles of presentation, and dharmi is divided into loka dharmi and natya dharmi. Right? Now I'm just looking for the definition on these. Okay. Okay. So let's just try to understand. What does loka dharmi present? Just think about loka. What loka is? So it is everyday human. It's inspired by everyday human behavior. Right? So things that we see on a daily basis. For instance, um, your the Nayika is combing her hair. Instead of gliding, she just tries to remove some tangles in her hair. All of those things are lokadharmi, using natural actions, or they are more realistic in nature. This helps you connect with the audience, lay audience. Natya dharmi, however, is stylized or artistic. It is stylized or artistic in nature, where you convey abstract emotions or abstract concepts. Say, for example, mountain. So we do this. Not many people who don't know dance may um, not understand it. So this is Lokadharmi. So Natya Dharmi, conventional or symbolic mode of dramatic representation, which follows theatrical modes, is called Natya Dharmi. So when you do everyday kind of actions, use props or use everyday movements, that becomes Lokadharmi. When you're trying to do that in a very stylistic, artistic manner, it becomes Natya Dharmi. Okay. The next thing is Rechaka. This is a particularly new concept which even I did not know prior to. Okay, I did know, but I had conveniently forgotten prior to making today's video. But what is Rechaka? I'll first give you the simple understanding. So it is similar to Gamaka of music, is what Dr. Padma Subramaniam says. So she says, just like Gamaka is a decorative, ornamentative element of music. So instead of singing, I'm a bad singer, I think I should not even try. Instead of singing plain, they try to give a lot of Gamaka movements in the music. That becomes, that to music is Rechaka to dance. So Rechaka translates to a particular movement of a limb or a particular movement. It encompasses independent movements of limbs separate from karanas or charis. So it is separate from charis or karanas. Rechaka, one second. Yeah. So Bharata says, or it is said by Bharata and his succeeding authors, that there are four Rechakas. Chaturo Rechakaschapi, what he is told, what are the four Rechakas? Pada Rechaka, that of the feet, which moves, which means moving the feet sideways, moving the feet, waving the feet, things that we don't do in charis or karana. The next one is Dvitiya Kati Rechakaha, Kati, or the waist or the hip, Kati Rechaka, which involves raising of the hip or dropping of the hip, so on and so forth, again independent of Karanas or Chari. Kara Rechaka, or the palm, hand Rechaka. So where you're moving the hand, you're turning the hands, using the fingers, so on and so forth. This is Kara Rechaka. Kantha Rechaka or Griva Rechaka is that of the neck. These are the four Rechakas. They are stylized movements or ornamentative movements of dance. Again, what I wanted to tell about Padma Subramaniam. So she says, Rechakas in dance are ornaments that enhance the beauty of movement. They can be compared to Vachika Abhinaya, mentioned in Natya Shastra, and the Gamakas of music tradition. Instead of singing something in a plain way, when you try to add beauty to it, that becomes Rechaka. Okay, so think of it as beautifying elements. Right? You can wear a simple earring, but you can also wear a earring with that smart T in the end. You can simply wear a bindi, but you also wear some design. All of that are simple beautifying elements, which are independent of the main thing, independent of Karanas, independent of Charis. The Mati is independent of the earring. Okay? Lame comparison, but works if you understand. Okay. Next, we come to the three main concepts: Nritta, Nritya, and Natya. So these are concepts that we have been studying from junior exam or even before that. What is Nritya? I will just go and read what is mentioned. So they say Nrittam Tala Layashrayam. So Nritya is that which is dependent or that which encompasses Tala or Laya. Basically, Nritta is very rhythmic in nature. Okay. Next, Bharata says, this again is directly from Natya Shastra, translation of Natya Shastra. Nritta does not depend upon any specific meaning, but it imparts beauty and splendor. So, Bharata says, Nritta does not impart any specific meaning. But what does it have? Beauty and splendor. Okay. So this, people often say Nritta is meaningless. However, over a period of time, we have come to create or agree upon terms. Today, the most commonly agreed upon term is non-referential. Meaning, Nritta does not reference to any lyrical meaning. That does not mean Nritta is meaningless. So we do tam, whatever that we are doing, the adavis, the series of adavis, core wise or rhythmic patterns, the tilanas and gettas and so on and so forth, that which does not have lyrical meaning. So the term meaningless does not sound great. That which does not have lyrical meaning becomes Nritta. Okay. So Nritta in the Natya period, again I think I've mentioned this a couple of times, we are now we have to go slightly travel back in time away from the contemporary period of dance and go back to a period of dance where Natya was performed, where dance was just a part of the dance and not the whole thing. It was all encompassing. Natya included music, dance, sculpting, lot of things. And that time Nritta was actually used for, say, entry of characters or entry and exit, so on and so forth. And Bharata also mentions Nritta became ancillaries of songs. So they're not songs with lyrics per se, but they are ancillaries, or those which go along with it but not, are not it. Right? Remember in I think 8th standard economics, ancillary industries, industries which support or industries which are a byproduct of. Similarly. So, rasa bhava vihinam to nrittamityabhidhiyate. So, rasa bhava vihinam nrittam ityabhidhiyate. That which does not have rasa or bhava is called nritta. Okay, we can next go to nritya. So one thing you might want to make note of, the term nritya is not mentioned in the Natya Shastra. We must understand that it developed post Abhinava Gupta period, somewhere before the somewhere of late. So nritya is a combination of rhythm and expression. Okay, this is what nritya. So unlike nritta, which does not have lyrical meaning, nritya is interpretative in nature. In nature. So it has interpretation of lyrics. So Bharata says it. No, so Bharata does not say. Bharata does not say. The later scholar says it is that which makes the use of abhinaya both angika and satrika. Where is Vachika Arya left? No idea. So Nritya is that which is expressive in nature. Okay, and it has body movements and facial expressions to convey. Okay, so this is Nritya. Later scholars also, I am reading the definitions that they have told. Nritya is the form of dance which possess flavor, mood and suggestion. Rasa, bhava, vyanjana. So it is that which has flavor, mood and suggestion. I thought suggestion is dhvani, but this was a translation of that which is told by later scholars. Now we will come to the forefather of everything, which is Natya. So now Bharata has it is Natya Shastra, guys. So Bharata has extensively spoken about the term Natya in his Natya Shastra, its definitions, its explanation, and let's go shloka by shloka. I have not put down the shlokas on the slide because getting a overview of it or the gist of it is sufficient. So he says Natya is the nature of the world which has pleasure as well as pain, which is represented through the body, is called Natya. So later Bharata says, which I will also tell, is he says Natya is Loka Vrittanukaranam. It is just a reflection of the world. So we'll see how he takes it. He says, Yoyam Swabhavo Lokasya Sukha Dukkha Samanvitaha Songa abhinayopetaha natyamityabhidhiyate. So he says, Yoyam svabhavaha lokasya. What is the nature of the world? So nature of the world, which has both happiness, and pain. So you use your anga or your body, and through your body you do abhinaya, or abhinaya can also be done through arya. Okay, through your body movement and through abhinaya, which you represent, that is called Natya. This is told by Bharata. Let's see what he next says. He says, Trailokasya sarvasya natyam Bhavanukirtanam. So Natya is the representation of the reaction of all the three worlds. So further authors have gone to tell that it is a representation of all the three worlds, but that which is there in all the three worlds. Hence, Natya also portrays pain as much as it does happiness. And then Bharata finally says, which I told, Loka Vrittanukaranam Natyam. That which is the imitation of the world or the reflection of the world, or where you portray different aspects of the world, that is Natya. So hence Natya falls mostly under the dance drama category, where it combines elements of nritta and nritya, and there is a culmination of so many things, all art forms, dance, drama. There's Vachika, right? There are dialogues, there's music, there's mime, there's also the art of making stage props, so on and so forth. That is Natya, okay? What else is defined? Art mirrors the reality. That is defined in Natya. Whatever good or evil happens in the society is reflected through the actor on the stage, and people when people see their own feelings represented on stage, rasa realization arises. This is a very big other topic, the rasavadas, where our various commentators, Bhatta, Lollata, Sri Shankuka, Abhinavagupta have given their own understanding of how rasa manifestation happens. We will not touch that, but it is the reality. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It is the reality of the world which is represented through the actor, the actor's movements, the actor's other forms of abhinaya is Natya. Okay? Next. We'll go to the word Tirmana. At this point, we must know what is Tirmana. The term Tirmana literally means to conclude. So, Tirmana is the conclusion or the final or the ending of, is an rhythmic ending, right? Tirmana also is called Muktaya. So, it is the final aspect of, say, a jati or a korvai. Okay. A tirmanam is also done 3 times. Three times. Some do it 5 once, so on and so forth. We do takita takita something like that. We do it. And a tirmana utilizes what we call a yati or a pattern. What is a yati or a pattern? The most common yati is actually called Gopuchayati, where it tapers down from big to small, like a cow's tail. So it can be takadigu tadiginatom takatadiginatom tadiginatom. So, or taditta kadadagadom ditta kadadagadom tak kadadagadom, something like that. Or it could be a shotrivahayati, where it goes up. So from slow to big. So that could be the reverse of Gopuchayati, right? Taditta takadigu kadadagadom ditta tak kadadagadom tak kadadagadom, something like that. Or it could be a mridangayati, your something like a mridanga, where you have small, big, small, right? Tak kadadagadom taditta tak kadadagadom tak kadadagadom. Or it could be a damaruyati, where it is big, small, and big. So, taditta takadigu kadadagadom taditta takadigu kadadagadom, something like that. I'm just impromptu speaking. So, one scholar actually says it acts as a full stop to a piece, connecting nritta to tala. So, you're doing a full stop. So, takadigu kadadagadom tam. So, you're finishing it, and it stops with sama, and you can maybe take the sahitya of whatever. So, yati is, one scholar has told that yati acts as, tirmana acts as a full stop. Okay, that is why the adavu is called Muktaya adavu or Tirmana adavu, because it is done in the end, denoting the ending. Okay, so this was a rather lengthy chapter, but I hope at the end of this you have understood the various definitions, various interpretations of the same word, and you've hopefully understood it, and you can learn the meanings later, memorize it. Understanding is important. So if there's anything, please do let me know. If this video goes on YouTube, you can comment, or you can definitely say email me or something. Good luck in preparation for your Previdvath exams. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.